Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey. How y'all doing? Hi, Amanda and Michelle. Okay, y'all, I am back tonight, and I hope that some of you were able to catch the replay earlier today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Trina Titus Lozano, and I'm a counselor and ordained Christian minister. And I've got 7 kids and 10 grandkids. So there you go. So my husband and I have been talking about, hey, thanks for putting that up there. For past Periscopes, y'all, go to my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com. And I need to get my scopes up from last week. They're not up there yet, but they will be. And some of you maybe aren't familiar with my website. So if you haven't ever been on there, search it out. There's some great Periscopes. So I've been Periscoping twice a day since August. So there's quite a few to choose from. So anyway, hope y'all are doing great. I spoke earlier today about a blessing, and my husband's dad gave him a blessing before he died, and it was one of the most beautiful opportunities for me to see them just connect in this incredible way. And it's just so cool. Hi, V. I'm so glad to see you. V, this is great. You can do this with your kids. And Donna, you can do this. My husband and I were just remembering this and thinking how special it would be for us to do with our children. So whether you are a parent or not, this is something to really keep in mind, because you could do this with anyone. Because when we have God's blessing on our life and we really understand what it means to then present a blessing and to bless someone else, especially from a parent to the child, we really have an opportunity to really be the hands of God and to speak into their life. But here's the 5 elements of this, okay? So I'm going to go over these pretty quickly, and then for the rest of the week, I'll sort of unpack these a little bit in more detail, okay? So here are the elements of a blessing. And we're going to do this with our kids, with our adult kids. We dedicated our kids when they were babies to the Lord in a formal dedication, or some of you had maybe like a christening ceremony, something like that. So we did that when our kids were babies. But as adults, we have not done this with our adult children yet. So we want to do this because I think it would be really fun. And I think it would be very impacting in their life, just as it was in my husband's life when his dad did this with him. And it's been incredibly productive, because it really, as soon as my husband's dad, my father-in-law, blessed my husband, we saw God work in miraculous ways in his life. So it's so cool. Okay, so number 1, meaningful and appropriate touch. So the Bible talks about whenever you pray or speak a blessing over someone, to lay hands on them. So you might see someone just like touching someone's head, or touching the back of their neck, or touching their back, or just holding their hands, but some sort of real meaningful touch, okay? So when you have this meaningful touch, and you even look in their eyes, James and I did this over the weekend, and really connect with the person that you are blessing. So you consider them, and it is so considerate to just look into their eyes and just hold their hands, or put your hands, on the sides of their face, or something like that, where it's this meaningful touch. Sometimes you can put oil on your hands, anoint them with oil, right, Susan? Some real good essential oils, and anoint their head with oil. The Bible talks about that. But you want to have some meaningful touch as you bless them, okay? And number 2, a spoken message. So, in fact, it's most ideal if the words that you're speaking will also be written, so that they can really, really have something keepable. But yes, frankincense will be perfect. So anoint them with oil, touch them, and speak a word over their life. Speak a positive word of blessing. Watch my Periscope at noon if you're curious about what sort of thing to say. But yes, an affirmation, and then also give them this written word. But it's got to be spoken, so it can't just be thought, but you want to speak love and blessing, and use those words, love and blessing. Okay, number 3, attach a high value to the one being blessed. That's right, the words have so much power, and so you want to bless them by attaching a very high value. So lift them up. Let them be very encouraging words. For it to be a blessing, the words have got to have value, and the words need to give value to the person that you are blessing. Number 3, picture a special future for the person that you're blessing. So speak something that is very significant about the future that you see over them, and that you can sense a future and a purpose that God would have for them, things that you would love to give. Oh, good. Touch, speak words, give value. Good. Thanks for writing that down. Okay, so picturing that special future for him or her. Okay, number 5, an active commitment to fulfill the blessing. So the person that you are blessing needs to at some point receive that blessing. So this sort of action where you give the blessing and then they receive it. They receive it. So as an act of their will, they receive that blessing. And that's that 5th element that's really important. These are 5 elements of biblical blessing, and we're going to unpack this later in the week, starting tomorrow. Just what it means to really speak a blessing over people, okay? Kind of like an altar call, yeah, sort of, but for sure with people that are very significant. So Amanda, when I get an opportunity to meet you, I'll have an opportunity to really speak a blessing over your life. You know, and I have not done this yet with Sade and Claire. Today's Claire's birthday, so I'm sure they'll catch the replay. But you know, I think this is so important to just speak a blessing over people's lives. So we want to do that. That's significant. Okay, so number 1, meaningful and appropriate touch, laying hands on them. Number 2, the spoken message. Number 3, attaching the high value to the one being blessed. 4, picture a special future for them. And 5, they will have an active commitment to receive that blessing. Y'all, I will be back at noon and 9 tomorrow to go over more details and to go in more depth over giving a blessing to someone that you really care about. You guys know, thanks Wendy, you guys know that your purpose is relationships. Well, when you know that God has blessed you, what better thing is there to do than for you to then turn around and bless your children or the other people that God has put in your life that have significant relationships with you. So it's a good opportunity to learn about blessing so you can leave them with a blessing, right? Exactly. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So good to have you be with me. Y'all have a great rest of the night and God bless you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.